Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are going to break down a really powerful framework for financial freedom. Seriously, this is a concept that could totally change the way you think about money, so let's just jump right in. All right, let's kick things off with a tough question, and I really want you to think about this for a second. Picture it. A decade from now, you've been working hard, you've got money, but you look over and your friends, they have freedom. How would that feel? That feeling right there, that's the fear of regret, and it's a huge motivator.
And that fear, it points to this really strange thing happening right now. Young professionals, maybe like you, are earning more than any generation before them, but for some reason, that feeling of true financial freedom seems to be getting further and further away. So, what is going on?
Now, this might sound a little dramatic, and you know what? Good, because money is a drama. It really is. And the person who understands the script, who gets the rules of the game, that's the one who's going to win.
So if we're going to understand that drama, we first need to get real about something. There's this huge misunderstanding that keeps like 90% of people from ever building real wealth. And it all comes down to the difference between just looking rich and actually being wealthy. See, it really comes down to two totally different ways of thinking. On one hand, you have people who just look rich. They spend their money to show it off, buying stuff that loses value, liabilities like fancy cars and the latest gadgets. But people who are truly wealthy, they do the opposite. They invest their money to grow it, building up assets and chasing real freedom, not just the newest trend.
Let me put it this way. You see someone posting a photo with their brand new iPhone. At the exact same moment, someone else is buying a tiny piece of Apple stock. One of them is a consumer. The other is becoming an owner. Every single rupee you spend is a choice between those two paths.
So, the big question is, right? How do you start making those smarter choices? How do you actually start growing your money? Well, I'm going to show you a super simple framework to get you started. It's called the wealth triangle.
It's built on three super important pillars. Number one, you've got to grow your income. Two, you absolutely must invest that income so it multiplies. And three, you need to protect and then leverage everything you've built. Okay, let's break each one of these down.
The foundation, the base of this whole triangle, is income growth. I mean, look around. In today's world, the opportunities to earn more are everywhere. Side hustles, freelancing, you can even use AI tools. I heard about this guy, Ankit, from Delhi. He started with a salary of 25,000 rupees. By learning some digital skills and freelancing, he 6x'd his monthly income to 1.5 lakhs in just 2 years. That's totally life-changing. But is it enough to be free?
The answer is no, absolutely not. Just having a higher income on its own will not make you wealthy. You have to move to the second pillar, which is, honestly, the most powerful one, investing. This is the magic part. This is where you put your money to work in things like stocks or mutual funds, so it starts making more money all by itself.
And if you want to see the magic of compounding in action, just look at this number. If you invest just 5,000 rupees a month, that's it, into something like an index fund, and you get an average 12% return, it can grow to over 50 lakh rupees in 20 years. That is the incredible power of making your money work for you.
The takeaway here is so simple. If you are not investing, you are literally stealing from your future self. I'm serious. The person you're going to be in 20 years is counting on the decisions you make today. Don't let them down. They're probably going to want to afford pizza too. And finally, we get to the pillar that holds this entire thing together. Protection. Look, it's not enough to just build wealth. You have to protect it. This means having things like insurance for when life happens, an emergency fund so one bad month doesn't totally derail you, and of course the financial knowledge to avoid making big mistakes. Once you're secure, then you can start to leverage everything, your time, your money, your network, to grow even faster.
Okay, so now we have the three pillars of the framework. But it's so important that we clear something up. The goal of all this, of building wealth, it's not about Lamborghinis or yachts in Dubai. The real prize is something way, way more valuable.
This right here is the real goal. It's not about being rich, it's about being free. It's about having the freedom to choose what you do with your time, when you do it, and who you do it with. That is a truly wealthy lifestyle.
Just take a second, really imagine that. It's a Monday morning and you wake up without an alarm. Not because it's a holiday, but because you don't have to go to work. Your investments are working for you, paying for your life. That feeling? Goosebumps, right? That is what we are all chasing.
So, after all of this, the most important question is still on the table.
When should you start this journey? Well, the answer is simple, and honestly, it is non-negotiable.
Okay, check out this chart. Let's look at Ria. She invests 5,000 rupees a month for just 10 years, from when she's 25 to 35, and then she stops completely. Now look at Raj. He starts later, at 35, and he invests the same amount all the way until he's 50. What's the result? Ria ends up with more money, even though she invested for less time. Why? Because she started earlier.
And the lesson from this story is so simple. When it comes to investing, time is way more valuable than money. The number of years you're in the market will do more for your wealth than the actual amount of money you put in. Starting today is your single biggest advantage. And look, if you're sitting there thinking, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow, just remember this. Tomorrow has killed more dreams than failure ever will. It's a fantasy. It never actually shows up.
So let's boil all of this down to a simple, clear action plan. Your mission, starting right now, is to focus on these 3 things. Learn how to earn more, learn how to multiply that money, and learn how to protect everything that you build. That's it. Because at the end of the day, a wealthy lifestyle isn't some far-off dream that you hope for. It's a decision. It's a decision you make, starting today. The framework is right here. The power of starting now is undeniable. So the only question left to ask is, what's your next step going to be?